leadership. Is that good or bad?
Well, we will find out. But no, this league is always changing. The final 53 is not even the final 53. So from year to year, there's a lot of new bodies, um, and we added a lot of good players to the room. So we lost some good players, we added some good players, and right now it's about this team, this unit, getting better as we go here through training camp and getting these pieces to learn how to work together.
So Clowney, and let's start with Clowney. I mean, he's such a name and personality. Your initial impressions of him, health-wise and work-wise?
Yes, all I know from Jadavian is what I've seen in our mandatory minicamp and out here this first week, and he looks awesome. He looks healthy. He's got good spirits. He's attentive in meetings. Everything we've asked of him so far, he's done. I think he's very motivated, very excited. He's already said it. He feels, really comfortable here around the locker room, the coaches and all that. So he's in a great spot, and we're excited to have him.
What kind of season was Myles on his way to having before the COVID?
Well, obviously a dominant one, and I do think he had a dominant season. Obviously there was a little bit of effect, coming back with his health and wind and stuff like that. But, I think he's put it out there, the type of player he can be, a defensive player of the year type player. But he's hungry to get better, and I'm, trying to help him get better and pointing out every area last year where, maybe he could have made a play here and there, and, he asked me the difference between plays that Aaron Donald makes or plays that TJ Watt makes, and we just point him out as we're watching and things like that. So I know he's hungry and motivated and ready to get going.
He's had, a couple things happen these last couple of seasons and showed incredible flashes, probably more than flashes, obviously. Is he on the verge of putting together that kind of season, especially given the personnel that's going to be around him this year that's going to make things potentially even easier on him?
Yeah, you make a great point. You add talent around him anytime, not just up front, in the back end and at all positions. That's going to help him, obviously. So with him, I think you wouldn't think that he would come back bigger, stronger, and faster, but I mean, he doesn't. I mean, he surprises us every time. Like when I first saw him coming back here just last week, I was like, holy cow! It's amazing. So he's one of the best athletes in the world, and he's constantly getting better as a football player every year, every day. So super excited to see what he does this year.
When you look at that tape and you say, okay, this is the play you didn't make last year, what you were talking about, what are kind of some of the things you point out?
Yeah, just how to make the play. Sometimes it's in our system. We play wide defensive ends, and on play away you got to get to the cutback, and sometimes guys just get a little bit distracted. Is it bootleg? Is the quarterback going to pull it? Things of that nature, and really just understand how it fits in the scheme, and then really going and utilizing all of his skill and ability to just go, crush the running back on a cutback instead of, trying to figure it out. And you see a little, see a lot, you see nothing. That's what every coach says, and it's so true. So just trying to help him, focus.
He talked the other day about kind of taking on more of a leadership role, and I think he's kind of grown into that. Do you see that when you either in meeting rooms or out on the field with him?
Absolutely. You see that with all players, as they're getting their third and fourth year, all of a sudden it's like they're a senior in college, right? So with him, and obviously a lot of weight on his shoulders, being a franchise type player, but in the locker room now, he does feel comfortable in that room, getting new guys in here. You got, 4 new rookies in the room. Obviously he's starting to understand that he is kind of an old head in the room, as we say, but, he's learned from some good ones in that, and we brought some to help him too, like guys like Malik Jackson, so he is taking on that role.
How do you see that defensive tackle? So you got 2 new starters for sure. How do you see that shaping up?
Well, we're going to find out. We have a lot of competition. We got some different type players. Malik Jackson, he's 285 pounds, long, lean guy. Andrew Billings, is more of your typical nose tackle, 315 plus. So, and then we got Jordan Elliott coming into his own, second-year guy, and it's just a lot of moving pieces in that area. But, every team's going into it right now looking for at least four inside guys that we can have a quality rotation. This day and age in football, you have to be able to rotate with quality depth. So that's our goal, and we think we have plenty of pieces to find out who those guys are.
Chris, what do you have in Malik McDonald?
Yeah, well, we have size. We have size and athleticism, and he's hungry. This is a shot for him. What he does with it really depends on him and his commitment day to day. So right now we've been very pleased with him. Like I said, really big guy in there. You look out there, he's the biggest guy on the field. So we're just getting him back to the basics, learning how to play football again, getting him back in football shape, and then we're going to find out a lot over the next month.
4 years since he played, right? I mean, does it look like it's been 4 years? A lot of
I don't know. I'm not in the habit of, evaluating guys on their first time in 4 years, but he's knocked off the rust. He got 4 weeks of work here in the spring, and then obviously he stayed in shape during the summer. So, he is knocking off that rust. But again, we just getting into team periods, live action, so we'll find out a lot more.
Is he strictly a tackle?
As of right now, yes.
You mentioned Jordan Elliott coming into his own, and I think it was Joe Batonio yesterday said he came back, he transformed his body and looks a step quicker. Can you talk about, did he get a lot slimmer? What happened in the offseason?
Yeah, he focused on running. Obviously, he's focused on lifting as well. He's a very strong kid, but he did lean down. He's in 285 range right now, but we want him to play more closer to 293, something like that, where he's not going to get bounced around. But he is a really strong kid. So, the thing he wanted to do, what he felt like last year, is that he couldn't turn and run and be consistent play to play, getting after ball carries downfield, things like that. So he challenged himself in that area, and I'm proud of him for that. And now it's just about maintaining, putting on some good weight as we work through training camp and not getting lighter.
Did you see enough of him in limited action last year to say, yeah, he can be, part of my rotation?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm super excited about Jordan. Everybody, you got to remember, Jordan didn't have an off season last year, and hardly a fall camp. And so when we're looking at cut-ups, I feel bad like that he didn't get coached more because he got thrown in as a rookie, played in 19 games, I think it was. And that's tough as an inside guy your first year, So super excited about getting him rolling here in preseason.
What do you have in Billings since he opted out last year? What do you like about him?
First of all, he's the strongest guy I've ever seen. He's state high school champion, lifts up our sled off the thing, is like 2,000 pounds. So it's just straight strength, first of all. He lost 20 pounds this offseason, got down to a range we wanted him at. And he's working his tail off, and he missed a lot last year. He told us he was, missed being out there with the guys, and he's excited to be back. So we'll see what we get when we get rolling, but we're excited about him.
When you say strongest guy, you're not being not using hyperbole there.
No, the strongest I've ever seen. For
sure.
sure.
And somebody in the organization really liked Preston Wilson to give him the undrafted bonus that he got. Did you participate in the evaluation of him?
Who's that?
Marvin
Wilson, I'm sorry.
I was like, dang, who am I forgetting?
You're near the end.
Yeah, no, I actually recruited Marvin in high school, coming out of Houston when I was at Ole Miss, so there was a relationship there. But obviously our guys did a great job getting him in the boat and getting him here because he's a talented guy. Size, speed, athleticism. Had a little injury history, but very strong guy. We're getting in there. We're going to develop, and excited about him.
With Togiai, what do you like about him, and do you think he can be a third down pass rusher for you?
Yeah, I like a lot of things about Tommy. That's why we drafted him. He's athletic, he's strong, he's just coming into his own. Whether or not where he's going to fit, this year down the road, who knows? We're just getting started with him. Had very limited work a little bit this off season, but we'll see what he does here in fall camp and go from there.
In college, did you see that the pass rush ability that you like?
Yes, he's quick, athletic. He's a little undersized, but a guy like Sheldon Rankins, quick, can win with speed and quickness, strength.